This topic is about the GATE program. That was a program for elementary students from third grade to sixth grade. I know at my elementary, it was kind of around that time. It was for gifted and talented students. You had to kind of test into it. I know it was people who were a little smarter in terms of IQ. You had to take different IQ tests. There was also like this pink liquid that you would have to drink. I asked the person about it, and they said it was fluoride. So at that time, I had no idea what that was. So I had asked the person to drink it, and then I would drink it. So they drank it, then I drank it. As soon as I got home, I kind of did some research, like what is fluoride, what are the effects on your health and things like that. So I do know that fluoride is in toothpaste, and they say that it helps with cavities. I don't know the actual scientific basis on that, so I can't really speak on that. But in terms of the spiritual community, they also say that fluoride makes it harder for you to decalcify your pineal gland. And at this time, third grade, I think I was maybe 9, around there. So around that age, I was pretty intuitive at that time. I had gut feelings. I went with them. I followed my intuition. And I also found out that I was spiritually gifted. I wouldn't say at that time, but at that point I had already known I was spiritually gifted. So by the time I had gotten to the program, I already knew I had certain spiritual gifts, and I was wondering what other people may have experienced if they have gifts. So the purpose of the program, as far as I know, was to kind of separate these kids because they're a little advanced for their age. What we would do is we would play this game called, I think it was on a computer, Oregon Trail. I know other people had spoken about this, and it was kind of a predictive game to see what choices you would make, and it's supposed to be based on strategy, but every outcome, from what I remember, was a negative one. I think there was a few choices you could choose from, was farmer, banker, and might have been another one. But anyway, yeah, that was a fun game. I know on the easier levels, I kind of cracked the code a little bit. Now they call it algorithms. You know how certain things show up on your feed for Facebook or even YouTube. It's all based on algorithms. So at that point, I had kind of figured out how to beat the game, at least on, I think it was the easy level or even like the intermediate level. But once you got to the harder levels, it was really hard. Like, I can kind of remember it was like a few choices. It's all based on choices. Like, things happen, I think, in the environment, and it's based on the choices you make. So at that time, I was definitely losing on, I would say, expert level, and maybe within like the first couple of choices. So yeah. But the purpose of the program, some people think this is a speculation. This is not any type of, I don't want to say truth, but there's no like court documents saying that, okay, this is what they're doing. But there was a speculation that they were trying to figure out who had gifts and who was more likely to potentially grow into these gifts, and if they could use it for government purposes, like going into the military, and use these gifts for a specific reason. going down that rabbit hole, I don't know if you heard about MK Ultra, but MK Ultra is also another program experiment where they try to manipulate your mind to get you to do certain things that maybe a normal person would not do. But yeah, I'm not really going to talk about that right now. That's kind of a branch off from the GATE program. But the whole point of this was just bringing awareness to, okay, in the 80's, that's when I was in elementary, for sure they were doing these types of things, and being a child, I wanted to be into the program because I had friends who were in there, and then not really knowing what was the end goal. But I knew at that point, like I said earlier, I was spiritually gifted and I could do certain things. So for me, it was a good learning experience. It kind of opened doors for me, like I said, about the fluoride, and that sent me down a rabbit hole of a whole bunch of other things. It kind of opened up my eyes to subliminal messages, brainwashing, which could be MK Ultra, a form of brainwashing, conditioning, aromatherapy, just a whole bunch of psychology based, and could even be like a spiritual. It's kind of like a blend. Psychology and spiritual it's very similar. So yeah, it kind of took me down that path, and it opened my eyes to a whole new realm of thinking, and that kind of structured my life in terms of looking at why I made certain decisions, why other people make the decisions they're making, what type of outside influences are at play, and maybe internal conflicts that are also there. So just wanted to touch base on that, just tell people about it, because I've seen other people on YouTube talk about it. To this day, I know, let me see, there was only like, in my class at least, so there was, I think, like 6 or 7 of us. I still talk to a few of them, we had gone to the same high school, things like that, and kind of branched off, now we live in different parts of the world, things like that, and different careers. So it's good to see kind of the trajectory, because I know there was like a statement that said there's basically 2 groups within the class, where one group would potentially do good in societal terms, like career, family, and all of that. But there was also another group that would also, I guess, be more rebellious and would also challenge the status quo. I would definitely be put in that group. And that's kind of why I started this channel too, it's just to bring awareness onto what is actually happening. Not necessarily like go against the government, just awareness on all sorts of topics, and kind of blend them together to give a better perspective, so you can make better choices in terms of what may actually be happening behind the scenes of some things that may not have been noticeable to you. So yeah.